you ever heard the phrase, say what you mean and mean what you say? In urban terms, I guess that would mean stand on business. Hi, my name is Suri Crowe, and you're watching the MeidasTouch Network. It's a lesson that, in my opinion, the Democratic establishment would do well to learn, because too often they come across in a lot of doublespeak, dancing around issues, which this guy on TikTok did a hilarious take on.
I'm a liberal Zionist. Free healthcare for Israel. My opponents won't say free Palestine. Neither will I. People don't want a genocide. Luckily, this isn't one. I know what it's like to not have a job. Ever. I have money. My stance has always been clear. More bombs. A little bomb here, a little bomb there. Just a little sprinkler bomb. I'm leading in a poll. I'm the least Zionist. Yeah. Ain't that something? Did I mention who I'm related to? You wanted young, right? Well, vote for me, cutie. You're not gonna vote for me? You're the problem. You're the problem.
So accurate. You hear it when Democrats on the Hill say they don't like or approve of what Bibi Netanyahu is doing, but then they turn right around and vote to approve more arms and funding for Israel. And the majority of the Democratic base appears to be over it and in search of moral clarity, like this, when Zohran Mamdani was asked to clarify his remarks on AIPAC.
The Jewish community, including Democratic Congressman Josh Gottheimer, were alarmed by the language he used at the rally last week, calling AIPAC monsters who move dark money. These are phrases that invoke old anti-Semitic tropes and conspiracy theories. What do you say to those who are concerned that the language you used is dangerous?
Now, I want to be very clear. We're talking about a status quo where children are being killed on a daily basis. More than 1,000 Palestinians have been killed by the Israeli military since the so-called ceasefire. Even an Al Jazeera journalist, Ahmed Wishah, was killed this past Saturday by an Israeli strike. And when I am speaking about AIPAC, I'm speaking about an organization that has been supportive of the status quo, that has fought any attempt to actually deliver safety to people, not just in Palestine, but frankly, through much of the region. And it is a status quo for immorality. It is one that I will not accept. And when it comes to the way in which they defend the status quo, oftentimes they defend it through direct contributions, as we are seeing right now in New York 13. Oftentimes they also support the status quo through dark money, by filtering money that would have previously been directly from AIPAC, now through other shell organizations whose identities of their contributors are only made clear after an election. And I think that it is important that when we ask ourselves how such death and destruction is happening overseas, we also name those who allow it to take place.
He didn't back down. He said what he meant, and he meant what he said. Mamdani's role continued when his and Bernie Sanders endorsed candidates made a clean sweep in New York last week, and several of the Democratic establishment guard was tossed out.
Good evening, everyone! What a good evening it is. Please join me in introducing your next Congress member, Brad Lander.
Thank you, Zohran.
And yet, with all of that winning in what's now being called affectionately Mamdanistan, Democratic leaders appeared to have their panties in a big old twist over a politician like Mamdani coming in and delivering on campaign promises. I mean, what a concept.
Mamdani making enemies on Capitol Hill by endorsing against incumbents right now?
Listen, the mayor and I agreed to strongly disagree about some of his endorsements, and he's got work to do in terms of the conversations that he's going to have with members of Congress moving forward.
What's your relationship with the mayor as it stands?
It's a very good one. We speak regularly.
Do you think Democratic voters want Democrats in Congress to be more progressive?
I think you got to look at the totality of all 215 members of the House Democratic Caucus, and that answer speaks for itself.
First of all, I really disagree with the leading line of questioning of that reporter, like not the way to question a politician. But secondly, Mamdani has work to do. Hakeem, excuse me? Mayor Mamdani came in, balanced a budget deficit of $12 billion without raising taxes on the working class. He did the pied-à-terre tax for the billionaires who have second homes that they don't even live in. He's expanded childcare. He's seen record crime drops, filled potholes, smashed primaries, and just this past week got a rent freeze approved by the New York City Housing Board. I'd say he's been doing more work than we've seen many incumbents in office do in years in office. And he's been there for what? 5 months? Jenny posted this. It seems like Mamdani doesn't even have an office. He just works the streets like a smiling genie, granting common wishes. Totally. No doubt he's on a roll, and I'm certain he's going to hit some hard bumps. It's inevitable. But as this person noted, what Zohran Mamdani is doing that I think is pissing off longtime incumbents, and especially the Democratic establishment that loves to work in incrementalism, is show that good and big things can happen for people with government using taxpayer money, and that people who want to be in elected office should make that happen, not tell the people all the ways that it cannot. Nathan C. June, who has a great follow on social media, says, one thing Mayor Mandani has taught me is the standards we have for our Democratic elected leaders is way too fucking low. Yeah, agreed. This past week, a UN independent commission found that Israel is committing a genocide through deliberate strategy of targeting Gaza's children. Now, I did a report on this topic a while back. You can find it here on Meidas. Just gut-wrenching findings by several doctors who served in Gaza that the IOF is, in fact, intentionally killing Palestinian children. So with the evidence in front of us and now confirmed by an independent commission at the UN, can we afford to have leaders who are dancing around the topic of will we, won't we continue to arm and fund a rogue nation that is committing war crimes? We know that Republicans are the criminals, not just abroad committing illegal wars and funding war crimes and genocide, but they're doing it here at home. So shouldn't we expect more from the left, those who say they stand for democracy, to stand on their business like this man?
What do you say to those who are concerned that the language you used is dangerous?
Now, I want to be very clear. We're talking about a status quo where children are being killed on a daily basis. More than 1,000 Palestinians have been killed by the Israeli military since the so-called ceasefire.
And here at home, Mamdani has banned ICE from entering all New York City property. This is the kind of leadership that people are looking for, not the feckless dance around answers we get from the corporate shills like Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, and most of the paid establishment Democrats. And as Trump and his fascists literally break everything they touch in this nation, the reflection pool, the White House, to our healthcare and our spirits, Mamdani and his crew are healing and repairing things and doing it with a smile. As Milsini said, just heard a MAGA say, New York City just voted for 3 Democratic socialists. No more Democratic Party. It's the Socialist Party now. I want to congratulate New Yorkers. My country, Denmark, is a social democracy, and we are ranked as the country with the highest quality of life. Mamdani is making New York City better.
And the one and only future congressman, Brad Lander. How was it to ride under Gracie Mansion? Quite the experience to be here alongside some former controllers. Yes, we got everything is under control. Everything is under control. Oh, man, come on.
In case you couldn't hear, he's saying to Brad Lander, everything is under control. I'm sorry. It's so freaking corny and cheesy, but it's really funny because Brad Lander is the former comptroller of New York. Get it? Everything's under control. Anyway, and Brad Lander is now the candidate in New York District 10 because he knocked out Dan Goldman, a pro-Israel Zionist. He lost his seat. So, I mean, the point is they're having fun while governing. They're having a good time. They're doing things with a smile. There's joy there. And I don't know about you, but I want more of that. I want more of that. He is like a smiling genie. I know he's a human, but he has a joy to vive about him. And, my God, I'm so tired of living under the oppression of the Death Star. The Death Star, Darth Vader, his orange self, and all of his evil cronies, Vampirian Stephen Miller, and just the evil and oppression of the Trump regime. So, no more Death Star. The resistance is winning. So, as always, stay fierce, my friends, and peace in the Middle East.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasTouch.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.